Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lindsay and this is my little slice of heaven in the corner of the internet. Get ready for a book haul today because I bought a lot of books this month and I'm here to show you all of them because why not? We all have book buying problems, don't we? So let's get started. The first group of books I'm going to haul for you today is my book outlet order. My first book I got from Book Outlet is Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. I've read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman and I really enjoyed it, so I've been slowly getting into all the Neil Gaiman books that I can. I saw American Gods, but I'm just not yet ready to pick that up for some reason. So I saw this on Book Outlet for I think like $3 or $2, and I really love the cover for some reason. I love the artwork. So I don't know much about this book except for the main character. He didn't know his dad was a god until his dad dropped dead at a karaoke bar singing karaoke. And he also didn't know he had a brother named Spider until his dad died. So seems really interesting. I really love the cover and the artwork, and I like Neil Gaiman's writing, so I'm excited to dive into this one. The next book I picked up on Book Outlet was Reign the Earth, and this follows our main character who is a daughter of the desert, and her country or her region is at war with the kingdom neighboring theirs, and so I guess this war was going on for quite a long time, and so she decides to marry the prince or the king of the neighboring kingdom to set peace among her lands. Gives up her freedom to go marry this guy, and it turns out her husband, this king, is obsessed with hunting down and destroying all of these elementae, which are people who control elements, you know, earth, wind, water, fire, all of those things. And so he's hunting them down. He wants to destroy all of them. Turns out his wife, our main character, is an elementate. I don't know what her power is, and I don't know too much other than that, but I'm sure there's a bunch of shenanigans with magic and politics and being, you know, betrothed to somebody who wants to destroy your people. The next book I have is Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. I have somewhat of an unpopular opinion with the first book in this series, Scythe. Okay, so I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. However, I was pretty bored in the middle of the book for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. It just didn't grab my attention until the very end of the first book, Scythe. I got invested and I really loved how it ended, and it's kind of on a cliffhanger, so I want to know where these characters go. Of course, we follow our two characters, Citra and Rowan, and they live in a world where there's no death, there's no disease, there's no hunger, there's no nothing. They've defeated all of those things. So in order to control the population, there are people who are apprenticed and hired, I guess, to be scythes, which they just go around killing people. Or they call it gleaning, so to control the population. So you would assume in this utopian society that all of these scythes are, you know, moral and just. Well, you kind of figure out that they're normal people and they can be corrupted and do some pretty evil things. I'm excited to see where this takes us. So, you know, it's super popular on BookTube, so I'm sure I'll love it. Next up is Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. By Shay Earnshaw. This book, I'm sure you've heard it. It's been around BookTube quite some time, and it's perfect for the October witchy reads. This story follows 3 sisters who back in the day were murdered for, I believe, being witches. And so now every summer they come back and they possess the bodies of 3 young girls and lure boys to their death. Perfect for October/fall, autumn read. The next book is a book that I got a recommendation for Allie from the Hardback Hoarder. She read The Fates and Furies, and recommended it, that it was a really good family drama story. All I know is really this married couple, you kind of see into their lives and the secrets that they have from each other, and how that apparently leads to a good marriage, is the secrets that you have from each other. I don't know. I'm interested to read more. I don't really know too much, and I don't want to know too much because it's pretty short, and I feel like if you know too much, it'll spoil the story, since it's contemporary and it's mostly character driven, I'm sure. The next book I bought because it's, you know, autumn, spooky time, and I needed more short story collections apparently. So I bought Stephen King's Everything's Eventual. It's 14 short stories. The 1408 story is in this, and that's basically all I know. And it was super cheap on Book Outlet, so I bought it. Why not? Good reasons, right? The next book, still from Book Outlet, yes, I'm still on Book Outlet, is I Stopped Somewhere. This follows our main character, Ellie, I believe. She is a freshman in high school, and she's decided to change her entire personality. She wants to become the new Allie, and she changes everything about herself, and basically her goal is to blend in and not stick out. So apparently something happens. She's a victim of a crime or an attack of some sort. The synopsis on Goodreads was basically, nobody looks for a girl who they didn't see in the first place or didn't notice in the first place, something like that. So that resonates with me. In high school, I was basically as invisible as possible. So if I was ever to go missing, I don't think anybody would have really started to look for me, except for my, of course, parents and close friends. But seems spooky, seems interesting. Can't wait to read it. All right, the last book I got from Book Outlet was Life After Life. I got this because it has a pretty decent rating on Goodreads, and it was super cheap. Hence, Book Outlet, you just keep, you know, feeding into my habits. Thank you. So this follows our main character, who was born in 1910 to a baker, I believe, and she dies immediately before she even breathes her first breath. But then all of a sudden she's reborn to the same baker in 1910. So the premise of the story is that she lives multiple lives over and over. World War II is imminent, basically, and so she's tasked, I think, since she can live her life over and over, with trying to avoid this imminent doom. So it seems interesting. It reminds me a lot of the first 15 lives of Harry August, where he just constantly lives his life over and over and he has to save the world. This seems like the girl version, so we'll see. All right, next up is my Amazon haul, because I didn't get enough books. Duh. The next book I'm going to talk to you about, I'm sure you've heard it. Everybody's talking about it. And that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Yes, I know. I'm one of those girls who loves V.E. Schwab. I will buy anything probably that she releases. I have not read this series yet, and so I decided to get the fancy, super nice, expensive hardback adult cover that really looks gorgeous. So this follows our two main characters who are college roommates, and they basically join forces because they realize they have a lot in common, and they experiment with adrenaline and near-death experiences that result in special powers, giving whoever it is, you know, special powers. So something happens, they end up being villains, or they end up being, you know, rivalries. I have no idea much more about this story. I've been avoiding everybody's reviews and synopsis because I want to go in not knowing much and just discover their relationship on my own and really get invested that way. And hopefully not get too hyped about the series. But I love Victoria Schwab. She's amazing. So I'm sure I'll love this. Next from Amazon is another very popular one, and I'm sure you've seen it, heard it, read it already. So it is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Yes. Sorry for any glare, but it's a very shiny cover. This follows our main character, Laszlo Strange, who is an orphan and librarian, or a librarian apprentice. Anyways, he's a scholar on this lost city of Weep. It's apparently a very lyrical story and written extremely well, and you just fall in love with Laszlo Strange and the city of Weep. It's a mystery. You find out how the city of Weep, disappeared off the face of everything. Everyone's talking so highly about it, I had to jump in. The next book I bought from Amazon is one that I've already read, and spoiler alert, I loved it. So that is The Kiss Quotient, and this follows our main character, Stella. She is a 30-year-old professional woman who is kicking ass in the economics department of the world. Anyways, she's an economist? Ooh, anyways, smart words. She's really super smart, and she also just happens to have Asperger's. So she's a little bit socially awkward. And when I say a little bit, she's very socially awkward because she doesn't know how to act in social situations. Well, she wants to get better at being in a relationship with a man because, she wants to have a family and have kids. So she decides, in order to get more comfortable with human contact, she decides to hire Michael, who is a escort. He is a Vietnamese Swedish escort who is so sexy. And this story is hot and steamy. It's really, really great. Romance novels, usually there's that stupid trope where I hate, where there's just miscommunication, where if the two characters would just talk to each other, the whole problem would be resolved, right? I hate that. This book does not have that, thankfully. Even though both of our characters have a lot of issues and problems that they're working through, they still talk to each other. They still call each other out on their bullshit, and I love it. They have normal issues and normal miscommunications where, shit happens, but it's not stupid like, I'm just not going to talk to him because I don't know. It's like, no, just say how you feel. So I really love this book. Anyways, my rant's over. This book's amazing. The couple's adorable. So hot and steamy. I am not supposed to buy the second book in a series if I have not read the first book in a series. I've been burned before, and I hope I'm not going to be burned again. However, I bought, I don't know if you can see that, The Diviners and Lair of Dreams. The Diviners is the first book in the series, and this follows our main character, Evie, and she has special powers. However, she lives with her uncle, I believe, and she doesn't want anyone to know she has these special powers. There's a serial killer going around New York City, and in order to help catch the serial killer, she has to reveal her secret powers and what she can do. So I'm sure she gets in a bunch of trouble and shenanigans when she starts to hunt down the serial killer. I really hope that breaking my rule and buying the second book wasn't a mistake, but we'll see. I'm sure I won't be disappointed. Everybody loves these. All right, and the last book I bought from Amazon, and then I have 3 more graphic novels. So this is the last book, though, that I bought from Amazon was Invisible Monsters. Again, I got this off of a recommendation from Allie at Hardback Hoarder, the Hardback Hoarder. I'll link her channel down below. She's amazing, super sassy, super awesome, really, really nice. Great recommendations for graphic novels and kind of spooky, fun stuff. This is Invisible Monsters. This follows our main character, who is a very gorgeous, successful model. She gets in an accident and she is disfigured and loses her speech. She can't talk anymore. So going from the spotlight to an invisible monster where everybody basically ignores her because she's so disfigured, she's finding it hard to live, I'm sure. Our main character runs into, and I'm pretty sure makes friends with, a transgender woman who is one surgery away from becoming, in her eyes, a complete woman. So she takes our main character under her wing, I suppose, and teaches her how to deal and cope with her new life and face and struggles. It's probably going to be dark and twisted, and I'm excited to dive in. The first graphic novel I purchased from Amazon this month is I Hate Fairyland Volume 4. This follows our main character, Gertrude. Gertrude finds herself stuck there 30 years later, still no key, and she's a little bit bitter. She's a bitter bitch about this. I would be too. Instead of looking for her key like she should be doing, she's basically running around pretending to look for her key and causing as much chaos as possible. It's full of candy, blood, guts, and all sorts of sparkles. It's a really awesome series. And this is volume 4 is the last volume in the series, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but I hope the series ends with a bang and Gertrude maybe makes it out. We'll see. The next graphic novel I bought from Amazon was Fables Volume 1. This was published a while ago, so it's a little bit older of a graphic novel, but I picked it up because it sounded really interesting to me. It's about all of the folklore, and basically they get exiled. All of the evil folklore takes over and kicks all the other people out, and they're exiled to modern day New York, where they have to live as normal people. So this particular volume follows Snow White's sister, Red Rose, and she's missing, presumed murdered. And so we're basically following the mystery of who done it, who killed Rose Red. I finished this book already, and spoiler alert, not my favorite, but I'll talk about it in my wrap-up. Okay, sorry for that angle change. If there is an angle change, my camera decided to stop recording. Awesome. Learning this YouTube stuff really well. Anyways, what I was saying. The last book I bought, yes, it's the last book, and it's a graphic novel, Saga, Volume 9. This series is amazing. I'm sure you've heard of it already. It follows our two main characters, Marco, who is from the Horns planet, and Elena, who is from the Wings planet. They fall in love, they have a baby, everybody's after them because that's a big no-no apparently. I will say, caution, I guess, don't read it in public. There's a lot of nudity, sex, drugs, violence, lots of dicks, basically. If you haven't picked it up, please do. You will get addicted immediately. All right, so that's my book haul for you today, my very first book haul on BookTube. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below, what's the last book you've bought recently? Have you bought any of the books that I've bought? Have you read any of the books that I've bought? Let me know, or just say hi. Like, subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, my name's Lindsay, and I'll catch you later.